What's up everybody? My name's Tim and I'm here with Lowbrow Customs to show you how to assemble a 39mm fork utilizing our tapered lowers. And whether you're using 2 over fork tubes up to 10 over fork tubes, this process is going to be the same. So next I'd like to talk about the Lowbrow tapered lowers, and some of you might recognize these as a part that we used to carry years ago but had discontinued. Well, we brought them back and these are the new and improved version of what we used to have. They're very similar. They have the same overall like beefy look that the old ones had, but with just a couple modifications. One being this big slash cut at the bottom. That'll be a telltale sign of new and old. This helps us to allow more wheel fitments. Specifically, the Lowbrow spool wheel will fit in between the lowers on the front end with axle spacers that you'll be able to purchase. So this is just a bolt-on part. Mount these on your bike, put a wheel in, and you'll be ready to go. They'll come with an axle, and you'll be able to buy different spacers to fit different wheel applications. These take all 39mm stock components, the bushings, the seal, the rubber dust shield on the top. These are also designed to fit the Lowbrow Premium Dust Shield. These legs won't work with some of the aftermarket dust shields that you see, but none of the legs actually fit those, which is why we came out with the Premium Lowbrow Shield. And they'll just press over top just as before, and I'll show you that later. So one of the cool things about these is how they're basically like a shaved 39mm leg and look as if you turned your leg down just to shave all the mounts off of it. But it comes that way, and it's also still super beefy because we didn't actually remove any material. This material is thicker than a stock leg. It has more of a 41mm look on your 39. These are the same legs left to right, so the hole size is the same, so you will have to utilize a custom axle, and there is going to be a few variations depending on how you set this up. There'll be a couple different ways that you'll be able to utilize this, whether it's narrow trees, stock lowers, you buy everything, narrow trees, tapered lowers, there's stock trees, tapered lowers. There are going to be a few different variations of things that you'll be able to mix and match to make this fit your needs the best. So with building this front end, we have the narrow triple trees, and we're going to be using the Lowbrow tapered lowers. So we have the narrowed axle for the tapered lowers. The lower legs have the same size hole on both sides because it's actually the same leg left and right. So we have a custom axle that fits the bore on both sides, but then the nut is internal blind, so you won't see it from either side. You'll actually just see a hex on both sides of the leg. There's a couple different axles and variations that you can get. Like I said, there's depending stock trees or narrow trees, whether you run the tapered lowers or stock legs, there's going to be an axle that you're going to be able to purchase to run that combination. So we also have a couple different variations of spacers that you can run with this kit. So it's whether it's the Lowbrow spool wheel or other spool wheels, you'll be able to bolt this in and take out any of the guesswork and just to make things easier for you. So I'm going to show you how to assemble one of these legs. We're using a lot of new parts because we're building one of these from scratch, but that doesn't mean that your stock components won't work with these parts. You could use, say, your stock dampener rod, your springs, and the seals and all the other components, like you replace the seals, but all the other things that you'll be reusing out of your fork will fit into these tapered lowers with the tubes and everything else. Even though we're buying brand new stuff, you'll be able to use your stock stuff, or you can go to lowbrowcustoms.com and pick up any kind of fresh pieces that you'll need. So we're using 6 over tubes for this project, but there's a lot of different options, say fork tube length and such, that you'll be able to find at Lowbrow Customs. But the assembly of the front end is going to be basically the same no matter what length tube you're going to use. The only difference being, say, the spacer that you're going to add on top. So that being said, I'm going to show you how to assemble this front end. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install the dampener rod. To aid in assembly, we have a little bit of fork oil left over, and I'm going to use that just as like a lubricant to assemble these parts with. Get a little bit of fork oil on the piston rings on the top of the dampener just to help it slide through. Get that a little lubed up. We're going to use one of the compression springs, slip that on here, and that's going to slip inside the tube. Now, I like to put the bushing on first, also with the washer. And we're going to slip that just onto the tube and all the way to the bottom, and then slip your washer on. Don't forget to add the oil lock piece on the bottom of the dampener rod. And if you're doing it on its side, everything's going to stay in place. Slip this through. And maybe with a spring, I might just use a spring to push at the top. And we can just for the time being, we'll push that all the way down so I can get the thread started on the dampener rod just to hold everything in place. And with a long Allen from the bottom, it's a 6mm. We're going to thread this into the dampener rod. Without any tension on it, it'll be hard to, it'll just spin in there. That's why I was kind of, just to get it to start, holding it from one end. And then once it's going to just, probably just going to spin. So once you get everything together with the cap on, the spring's going to hold it tight and you'll be able to actually cinch that down snug. So now that we got the dampener rod on, we can get rid of the spring for the time being. We don't need that in there. It'll bounce around. So we've got the bushing just kind of set in here and the washer on top, but we're going to want to tap that in place. And we're using this fork tool that I made up. There are a bunch of different insulation tools that you can purchase, or you can just go to the hardware store. I picked up 1.5 inch PVC. This is schedule 40, and this has got the right diameter just to slip over the tube. And I left it long just to give you a nice handle. You don't have to, sometimes if you cut it too short, it might be kind of hard to hold. So there's no reason to make it short, but so you just tap that down in there, and you can kind of hear the noise change when it totally bottoms out. The seal is directional, and you want to put the open side facing the oil inside the leg, and you'll be able to tell the difference of which side is the open side and what side looks more sealed and flat. And it'll be pretty obvious which way is directionally towards, because it's going to be much easier to tap on the flat side with a seal driver than the open side. And this fork tube has a taper on the top. The book will say something about using a plastic bag, but as long as you're just careful and using the taper to your advantage, you'll be able to just easily slip this on without damaging the seal. And kind of just start it a little straight, because even using a driver, you could get this thing just cocked just a little bit. And then use your driver, or makeshift driver. And you just give it a good whack in there. And there's a little groove for a snap ring inside the fork leg, and you just need the seal to clear that. As long as it clears that snap ring groove and you can get the snap ring all the way inside the groove, it's tapped far enough. You just install the snap ring. You can use a pick. It's got little ridges you can grab on. You'll be able to tell. There we go, you'll hear a little click. Then you have the dust seal, and it's the same as the others. And I just put a little bit of oil on it just to help it slide. It's the same as the seal, except I can't really hit on the inside with my driver, so I just kind of use a nice little rubber mallet, and I'll tap that. I'll tap that over on the edge, just carefully. There we go. It might take a little back and forth, but you'll be able to tap that on easy. So now that that's installed, we're going to have to figure out the spacer for the inside to the spring. And to do so, first off, clearly we're going to install our spring. These are progressive springs, and you can see one end's tightly coiled at the bottom. They have like a different winding at, say, top or bottom. The book says that it doesn't really matter. You might just notice a little bit of more noise if you install it with the tight wound up. But it's going to work the same. It might just be noisy, but either way, I'm going to install this with the tight wound spot facing into the tube. And then, so to measure the spacer, what I want to do is I have the spring installed inside, and I just extend the front end all the way out, push the slider down, you're just holding the tube, and you're just going to measure from, the easiest way to do this is to measure from the top of the spring to the top of the fork tube, which I'm getting a measurement of 8 3/8. So that's 8 3/8 of like negative space in here. And the book that comes with the progressive spring says that you want 1 inch of preload on the spring with the fork cap installed. So we have to compensate for where this fork cap bottoms out on the top of the tube to where it's pressing down on the spring. So since this is going into the fork tube, we want to subtract that from what we just measured. So this is, if we measure to the flange on this fork cap, to say the bottom roughly is just about 7/8. So we're going to take 7/8 off of that, but then we also need to take into consideration the washer that it comes with that we're going to put between the spring and the spacer. And the washer is very close to 1/8. So 7/8 plus 1/8, that's 1 inch total. So what we want to do is we're going to cut that to the top of the tube, so that's 8 3/8. And then once we add this washer, that's going to add 1/8 to it. So that's going to give us 1 inch total, because this is 7/8. Extend, if we have the spacer extending 1/8 inch over the fork tube, it's going to be 1 inch total. That's going to be 1 inch of preload after this is threaded on tight. So for the spacer, we're going to be using this 3/4 PVC Schedule 80. You'll be able to find this on the website. That's going to be roughly about 1 foot long. And so you'll be able to cut whatever you need out of it to be able to get the right preload on whatever length front end that you have. It'll be 2 pieces, so you'll be able to cut 1 per side. So we figured out from how I just showed you with the measurements that we want to cut this piece to 8 3/8. And so we're going to cut 2 of them just so when we assemble the other front end, we have one ready. So let's cut that now. Boom, we have our other piece cut. So now we're going to fit the washer in, put the PVC on, and we're going to put the cap on. So before I button this all up, this would be a good time to add fork oil, but since this is just for mock-up, we're still going to build the bike around this. We're not going to be adding fork oil at the moment, but I just wanted to mention that this would be a good time to add that. And I understand that this is going to be a longer front end. We might have questions about how much fork oil to use. I would refer back to your factory manual for how much ounces to put into your legs, because of how much more room that you're adding with the longer front end, of how much more fork oil that you should add. And there's a lot of great information in, say, a climber manual that we have on the website that would walk you through that. They even mention a special tool to be able to measure how much fork oil you have with your tubes compressed. So if you have any questions like that, that would be the best place to find information to set up your front end properly. So I like to put the washer in on top of the spring, make sure it's sitting flat, and then put the PVC on top. And I'm going to have this try to hold it to where it's fully extended, because it's going to make it a lot easier to install the top cap. We're using the flush mounted aluminum Lowbrow Customs fork caps. The hardware used is actually bored into the top of the cap, so when it's installed, everything sits flush, and it's kind of like a stealthy kind of flush mount where the mounting hardware is like a little hidden and it doesn't have the hex that's visible out of the top of the tree after you install this. So I'm just holding the tube, and you'll feel it once the threads grab. And sometimes if they don't grab right away, I'll actually rotate the tube in my hand to kind of try to clock where the start of the thread is so that it grabs right away as soon as I start to compress it. You'll feel it right away if it starts to grab or not. And then you can take off pressure and actually just try to thread it in. And now with that threaded on, there's a lot of tension on the spring, and so you can snug up the dampener. There we go. So we've gotten to this point, and it'd be a good time to tap on your dust covers. And if you've ever used one of these before, you know how much of a headache it can be. And there's nothing more frustrating than getting here to try to tap this on and you dent it or smash something or scratch something because these things just didn't tap on right. So we wanted to take out the headache of the final step, and you can go and pick up a premium Lowbrow Custom Dust Shield. And what more can I say besides they look great and they just work. And you'll install them just the same way as the fork seals. Just kind of get it straight and that's it. And they just tap on real nice and easy. It couldn't be easier. This is probably how they were from the factory, but all the other aftermarket ones, if you've ever installed one before, you know how much of a pain in the ass they can be. So the other side of the assembly is gonna go together just the same, and we're not gonna bore you with just repeating ourselves. Please reach out if you have any questions, and you can find parts like these and more at lowbrowcustoms.com.